So in the last lecture, we were discussing that the according to the de Broglie hypothesis, the every particle, it may be electron, it may be proton, or it may be neutron, have a dual nature, particle as well as wave nature. So what we have seen that if we say that electron acts as a wave, if we say that this is the wave of the electron, according to the de Broglie hypothesis, the wavelength lambda is equal to h upon p, and p is the momentum, which is the product of mass and velocity. So here, if we say that it is a wave, and according to the wave theory, if we say that this is the string which is in between two supports. If we plug in the string over here, it will generate a wave in the string. So as a resultant, the wave function of this wave, which is the function of the position and time, is equal to a naught sine of angle kx minus omega t. So here, y is known as its vertical axis, and a naught is the amplitude, which is the maximum displacement from the equilibrium position. And this wave is a function of sine, which is equal to sine of angle kx minus omega t. Similarly, if we say that the particle act as a wave, so as a resultant, we say that this its motion, its state can be described by the function, and that function is known as wave function. If we say that this is the wave of a particle, it is a wave of a particle, then the state of the particle can be described by a function known as wave function. The state of the particle can be described by the function known as wave function. So in this wave function, psi, which is the function of the position and time, is equal to psi naught e raised power iota kx minus omega t. This k is the wave number, which is equal to 2 pi by lambda, and this omega is the angular frequency, which is equal to 2 pi f, or you may write it omega is equal to 2 pi upon t, and this t is the time period, time required for one complete oscillation or one complete vibration. So this psi naught is equal to the amplitude of the wave. Amplitude of the wave. So it means here this state function, or we call it as a wave function, which is the function of position and time. So this wave can be divided into two parts. This state function can be divided into two parts. One is the space dependent part and other is the time dependent part. So here this psi, which is a function of position and time, can be written as psi, which is a function of position, and psi, which is the function of time. So here this can be divided into two parts: psi naught e raised to power iota kx and e raised to power iota omega t. Here, so this can be rewrite as this is the space function and this is the time function. So if we write it only the space dependent part, then psi, which is a function of position, can be written as psi naught, or I am writing it here, psi, which is a function of the position, can be rewrite as psi naught e raised to power iota kx. So this is defined as the time independent wave function of the free particle. This is free particle when the particle is in free. This is known as time independent wave function of free particle. So this is time independent wave function for the free particles. Now the important thing is that if we say that the particle is associated with the wave and its state is described by the state function or wave function, then how to determine the position of a particle? So now here, if we say that this is the particle which is in motion, it means this is some sort of wave, and this wave is associated with the motion of the particle. So now if we say that within this wave, what is the position of a particle? If we say that this is the wave associated with the electron. So now within this wave, where is the electron? This is the important question. Okay, where is the electron if we say that this is the electron wave? So what is the position of the electron? So now according to the uncertainty principle, the position and the momentum of a particle cannot be determined with the 100% precision, 100% accuracy. If we measure the position, there will be uncertainty in momentum. If we measure the momentum, there will be uncertainty in the position. So now within this wave, we cannot determine the exact position of a particle. The position only can be determined with a certain probability. And probability is defined as the chance of occurrence of a particle in any state. If we say that this is the state of the particle whose length is from 0 to L. This is the maximum length where the particle is within the box and its length is from 0 to L. So we say that the particle is from 0 to L, and within 0 to L, where is the particle? We cannot determine the exact position. We can only determine the position with a certain probability. So the probability is equal to the of finding the particle within the distance within the distance x and x plus dx is defined as probability psi, or defined as P, which is the probability of finding the position, is equal to the psi star, which is a function of position, into psi star into psi, which is the function of x into ds. This is the way to write down the probability of the finding the position of a particle within the displacement x into x plus dx. So this is the distance dx. So this is the way to find out the probability. And the probability density is defined as, if we define as a probability density, it means the probability per unit length, which is equal to probability per unit length dx. So this is equal to psi of x into psi star of x. This can be divided to probability by using cross multiplication. The probability per unit length is known as the probability density. So probability per unit length is known as the probability density, which is the multiplication of psi into psi star. If we plug in the value for free particle, so here for free particle, if we put it here value, for free particle, psi star psi is equal to e raised power iota kx, and psi star is equal to e raised power minus iota kx. Here it is a psi naught, here it is a psi naught. So here minus iota kx will be cancelled with the plus iota kx. So this is equal to the psi naught square. So psi naught square is known as the probability density. So this indicates this shows that the square of the amplitude of the wave is known as the probability density. So the probability density is the probability density is equal to the square of the amplitude of the wave function. Square of the amplitude of the wave function. So now here, this probability density, probability per unit length is equal to psi naught square, or we call it as the probability density, or you may write it with a small p, probability density. So this is the way to write down the finding the position of a particle with a certain probability. So it means the most probable state of the particle is where the amplitude is maximum. Here the probability is related to the square of the amplitude. This indicates that. It means the probability of finding the particle, here the amplitude is maximum here. So the probability is maximum, probability of finding the particle is maximum over there. So this shows that where the amplitude is maximum, the probability of occurrence of a particle over there is the maximum. So this is the way to find out the probability. So there are certain equations which describe the motion of the particle, motion of the object. And you know that in this case, the Schrödinger defines the motion of the object through an equation, and we call it as a Schrödinger wave equation. So let us see what is the Schrödinger wave equation. Schrödinger wave equation. So this is the how to find out the motion of a particle here. So simply the motion of the particle is described by the way or described by the equation known as Schrödinger wave equation. According to the wave equation, this is equal to minus h cut square over 2a d square psi over dx square plus u of psi is equal to E of psi. This is the Schrödinger wave equation. Simply, you know that in quantum mechanics, before analyzing this equation, we have to discuss some important factors of the quantum mechanics. In quantum mechanics, every physical observable is known as operator. Every physical observables is known as operator. Simply, for example, this is the object, this is the particle, let's say the particle is moving. So now, if the particle is moving, its motion or state is described by a function. We say it is a function psi, which is the function of position and time. It means the psi is the function which describes the motion of the particle here. So now in this case, if we say that we want to measure the energy of this particle. So now it has two types of energies. One is the potential energy and other is the kinetic energy, and total energy is the sum of both potential and kinetic energy. Or if you want to measure the momentum of the particle, then how to measure its momentum? So the physical observables is known as, let's say, we may measure the momentum. You can measure the kinetic energy. You can measure the potential energy. You can measure the angular momentum या total energy, or you can measure the angular momentum. It means if this particle is in a motion, you can measure all the physical observables. These are the physical observables which can be measurable if the state function is known. And all these physical observables in quantum mechanics is known as operator. It means this is the momentum. The momentum is designated by operator P. P over cap is known as, this is known as momentum operator. Kinetic energy is measured with the T. This is T over cap is the kinetic energy operator. Potential energy is measured with the U. Over cap means it is the operator. Total energy is measured with H, which we call it as the Hamiltonian, which is the total energy. Angular momentum is measured with N. So these are the operators in quantum mechanics. It means this momentum operator, when operates on a wave function, and this is called the state function, it gives you a certain value. And that value is known as eigenvalue, and which is the value of the momentum. For example, let's say this is the momentum. You want to measure the momentum over there, let's say. It means here is the state of the particle where you want to calculate the momentum. So if this momentum operator operates on a state, it gives you a certain value and the state. Value and the state. This state is known as eigenstate if the state remains same before measurement and after measurement. If the state remains same, then the state is known as eigenstate. If the state of a particle before measurement is same as that after measurement, the state is known as eigenstate. I am writing here, if the state of the particle before measurement and after measurement of before measurement and after measurement remains same, such state is known as eigenstate, EIGN, and the function is known as eigenfunction. So we may call that function is the eigenfunction, and the function is known as eigenfunction. अब यहां पे अगर आप ये देखें कि ये ऑपरेटर, this operator operates on a state as a result, and this gives you a certain value, and this value is the value of the momentum. Then this value is known as an eigenvalue. This value is known as eigenvalue, and state is known as eigenstate. It means this is the eigenvalue of momentum because we want to measure the momentum. Similarly, if this t is operating on a wave function psi, it again gives you the function, this value, and this value is the value of the kinetic energy. Similarly, this u, which is a function of the potential energy. When this operates on a wave function psi, it gives you the value and the function. This Hamiltonian is the total energy which operates on a psi. It gives you the certain value and the function. So this L, angular momentum, operates on a wave function psi. It gives you a certain value and the wave function. So these certain values are known as eigenvalues. This is the eigenvalue of momentum. This is the value of kinetic energy. This gives the value of the potential energy. This gives the value of the total energy, and this gives the value of the angular momentum. So these are all known as the eigenvalues. So now here, if we look into this equation here, in quantum mechanics here, the total energy is equal to potential energy or kinetic energy, which is a function of position, plus potential energy is equal to the total energy E, which is a function of position. Or you may write it position and time, let's say. Psi is a function of position and time. Psi is the function of position and time. So here, this psi operates on a wave function. It gives you the value, which is the value of the kinetic energy, and it is equal to minus h cut square over 2a d square psi, which is a function of x and p into dx square, plus this is the potential energy u of psi, and this is the total energy E of psi. This is known as a Schrödinger wave equation. Now which we have to prove it. हमें इसको prove करना है. So here, this h cut is equal to h upon 2 pi. So if we substitute here value, this gives you the h square, which is the Planck's constant. 2 pi whole square gives you 4 pi square multiplied by 2, 8 pi square a d square psi into dt dx square plus u of psi is equal to E of psi. So now here, kinetic energy, you know that kinetic energy is equal to the so here psi, which is equal to, which is a function of position and time, is equal to psi naught e raised to power iota kx minus omega t. If we take a derivative of it, d psi of xt over dx square is equal to psi naught. It is a derivative with respect to x, so it is equal to iota k e raised to power iota kx minus omega t. If we take a double derivative, d square psi xt upon dx square is equal to psi naught. Its again derivative gives you iota k square e raised power iota kx minus omega t. So this iota k and this psi star e raised power iota kx minus omega t. This is equal to psi. So this can be written as iota k square. Iota square is equal to minus 1. So minus k square into psi, which is a function of x and t, because this is equal to the psi. So here it means d square psi into dx square is equal to this. Substitute this value in equation number 1. This is equation number 1, let's say. So we have to substitute this value in equation number 1. For free particle, the total energy is equal to the kinetic energy, potential energy is 0. Substitute this value in equation 1. So here minus h square over 8 pi square n into this. This is equal to k square psi x into t. This is minus k square because d square psi xt is equal to this. For free particle, potential energy is 0, is equal to the kinetic energy, total energy. Because for free particle, kinetic energy, potential energy is equal to 0. So here, now the equation becomes minus into minus plus h square upon 8 pi square n and k is equal to 2 pi by lambda whole square into psi of xt is equal to e psi of xt. So 2 pi, 4 pi square, 2, so this is h square upon